Hello, this is a very special opportunity for the people of Rancho Bernardo and the greater region of San Diego to learn about the background of how Rancho Bernardo came to be. And we have a very special guest from the Rancho Bernardo Historical Society, Mr. Harry Summers, whose name has been linked with Rancho Bernardo because he was here and made it all happen. And we're looking forward to hearing some of the details. Today we are conducting this interview at the historic Bernardo Winery, which was one of the few places that was actually here when Mr. Summers first saw our community, what is now our community, and we're hosted at Cafe Merlot. So with that, my name is Eileen Haig, and it's my privilege to find out a little bit about what happened. Who is Harry Summers? We always link you with the community of Rancho Bernardo, but there was life for you before Rancho Bernardo, and we'd kind of like to know where you grew up and where you went to college and things like that.
Okay, well, I grew up in Texas, as you can tell by the accent, and I lived in Fort Worth and Longview High School, graduated from Longview High School. I went to North Texas Agricultural College in Arlington, Texas, which is a military school, and I went to the University of Texas. That was all before World War II, and I went into the Navy in World War II, and I was overseas 3 years in the Pacific. On PT boats, and I was on a fleet oiler. And I returned to the University of Texas in 1946 and graduated in 1947. I then went to Fort Worth and looked around and decided Dallas was the place, so I sought to seek my fortune starting in Dallas. I became interested in the house building business, and I worked for two different home builders in Dallas. One of them was interested in, since there wasn't much going on at that time because of lack of materials because of the Korean War, he wanted to come to San Diego to see if we could get into on-base military housing. I flew out to San Diego, spent a week at Camp Pendleton, and bid on the project, and ended up moving here to build 1,500 on-base military houses. After I got involved in that, I decided I wanted to live in California, and I settled in La Jolla. I started out building subdivisions of various sizes around San Diego, and started thinking about getting involved in a larger piece of property. We started looking at one in Sorrento Valley, and thought it had lots of possibilities. I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 acres. And then someone brought us a Daly Ranch, and I came out and met Don and Lawrence Daly, and started looking into it. Talked to the city officials who I knew about the possibility of annexing to get water, and so then we went into a joint venture with the Dalys and started development approximately in 1963, and we started out by putting in Rancho Bernardo Road with the olive trees down the middle. By the way, we went up to Riverside County and bought 1,000 olive trees,
Is that right?
full grown, and those were the first ones that we brought in. and we put them down Rancho Bernardo Road, and we put them in the front yards of every house we built until we ran out of them. So we started building the recreation centers, the golf course, and the country club. At that time, we had United California Bank as our lender, and they gave us a $50 million loan to get started, and that's what put in all of those things and helped us get where we were able to start building houses and selling property.
Well, I know that Susan's going to come back to the annexation and some of those issues, but before I complete, I only have one more question, and that is, how did we get then to Avco Community Developers? If you could give us that piece of history.
Well, I was joint venturing properties with Avco, and they were a very large New York-based corporation. It just so happened that their president lived in La Jolla, and I got to know him, and he became very interested in what I was doing, and so they provided the funds to help us get started.
But before the Avco connection, or was it then, how did the concept of the planned community and you said you started putting in the rec center, so was that your vision? How did that come to be?
Well, we started out with Charles Luckman, a famous architect, and he helped us do a master plan which didn't provide any basic plans, but just to give the city an idea of what we were hoping to do. And that's how, for instance, the industrial park on the west side was stuck up on the hill. And by the way, it was put up there because we didn't want the housing looking down on industrial property. So we let the industrial property look down on the on the residences.
Excellent.
Which is a little different from most developments.
Absolutely. Well, I know there were lots of interesting things in that original master plan. I did get to see that document at some time, and I don't know whether Susan might, the Historical Society. Susan, this is Susan Floyd, and she is the Rancho Bernardo Historical Society's museum director. And I guess I was going to ask you, do we have a copy of that master plan?
Yes, we do.
We do have a copy, and I know that she has some questions for you, Mr. Summers.
So my first question goes back to one of the details that you just gave about some property in Carmel Valley, Sorrento Valley.
Yeah.
If they had said yes to your first proposal, would Rancho Bernardo never have come about? Perhaps
Well,
that's an if question.
I don't know whether it come about. We might have been so tied up in that property that we would not have been able to get involved in Rancho Bernardo, or maybe we could have gotten to Rancho Bernardo after that project, but I really don't know.